Assuming we want to find out the total amount generated by each line of business from Q1 to Q4, we know we have to sum together the values from Q1 to Q4 to get us the total amount. We start with our equal sign. Now, it's not efficient to select each cell and use the addition sign to get that value. A shortcut or a better way is to use the sum function. So we type sum, and when you press tab on your keyboard, it's going to open up a parenthesis. Now, this is telling us the values or what Excel is expecting. So Excel is expecting a number or a cell to sum together, right? And if you have multiple cells that we want to sum together, then we have that as well. So for us, we want to sum from Q1, and when we drag up to Q4, and now we can close our parenthesis, and when you press enter on your keyboard, Excel sums together all the values. Now let's double click on this total. This is showing us the range of values that Excel is using to generate the values inside of this cell, right? Now that we have this value, in order to get the value for shoes and apparel, we don't have to type out that formula again. All we need to do is we can double click on the fill handle, and Excel will automatically generate the values for us. And this is what is called relative referencing. To show you what that really means, let's double click on the value we have for shoes, the total value. When you double click, it shows us the range that Excel is using to get this value. So even though we drag down from clothing, Excel is not going to use the formula B6 to E6, sorry, it's not going to use the formula B5 to E5. Once it gets to the next row, it's going to drop down and use the values relative to this row. So instead of using B5 to E5, it's going to use B6 to E6, right? It's going to use the values relative to this row. And if we move to the next one, it's B7 to E7 because Excel is using what is called relative referencing. To find the total amount we have generated as a business, we would want to add all those three values together. And we can use the sum function again. Now, the sum function has a keyboard shortcut, which is Alt. So we select the cell that we want the calculation to be done, and then we press Alt and the equal sign. And Excel is smart enough to sum, so it notices that there are numbers within that column, and it's just going to automatically sum together. It generates the formula and automatically sums together all the values. So when we press enter, now we have our total amount generated for the business.